Hello friends of the blue and orange. This is your brother in all things blue orange, Titus Baxter, coming to you live from Snowmageddon 2021. What a time to be alive. Of course, if you all live in the Cincinnati area, you know that we are in the middle of a snowstorm, so there is no chance that I am riding my motorcycle right now, but I will play some footage in the background from more simple times, more beautiful sunny times. Enjoy it. Of course, I all know that you guys are all here for Brenner updates, and of course we want to talk about Brenner, but we also have so many things going on with the season and with FC Cincinnati in particular, roster moves, stadium updates, all that jazz. So let's get right into it, starting off with some important dates for you to put in your calendar and your agenda. The first is when teams report to team training, which will be March the 8th, and I believe there are around 6 weeks of training before the season starts. Should be ample time for the guys to kind of gel together and get used to each other's movements and get used to the style of play that we want to establish on the field. The next date that you should be looking out for, of course, is 4/17, which is approximately when the season starts. That should be a fantastic time, of course. That will, for me, add some more normalcy back into life. I miss beautiful days of soccer. The next date that we should be looking out for is actually a more approximate time, around when West End Stadium, or whatever it will be called, if it will have any specific naming rights to the stadium, should be starting. So that will be around mid-May. So whatever game lines up once we receive the full schedule of FC Cincinnati's playing, should be around that time. So those are it for important dates and stadium opening. Now let's get down to some Brenner action. Young Brazilian hotshot. Sao Paulo is the team that he was playing for last. Everyone of course is very excited. We just so happened to snag him from other huge suitors such as Arsenal, PSG, Juventus, that were also looking to sign the young hotshot, but it looked like all of those deals fell through. The European transfer window closed, leaving us the opportunity to swoop in, throwing in approximately $13 million of what the reports are saying, with $2 million of possible incentives. So around $15 million potentially for this player. Seems fairly high caliber. Of course, a young guy, which is a big deal coming into the MLS, South American. We're happy to see that, as opposed to grabbing more players from Europe, from the Netherlands in particular, which we've had a good success attracting those players, but not so much success on the field yet, as we all know. We'll see how he pans out here. Big money. I think it's the third largest transfer in MLS history, only behind another name that we've become familiar with in Pity Martinez and Barco, both Atlanta players. Of course, Atlanta's been known to splash big money, and for us to be known with the likes of those type of signings, we just so have to give a major applause to Daddy Lindner and Mommy Whitman. So thank you very much, and thanks to the front office for making such a splash on a player. It's a huge risk, but hopefully, if he does well, our return on investment should be nice. And if this goes well, of course, this will bode well for attracting other South American players and just other players of that caliber, not only to FC Cincinnati, but also to MLS as a league. I mean, let's be real. My man's Brenner is out here looking like a whole meal. I'm talking about a Skyline chili smothered slice of La Rosa's pizza with a side of Raiders black raspberry chocolate chip ice cream, topped with crumbled up Grippos, served as a UDF shake. My man's just feeling like going on a date with Rose Lavelle and looking deep into her eyes while she asks you what high school you went to. And I'm sorry, if you're not from Cincinnati, all of that just sounds like alien speak. But for those that are from here, you will probably appreciate it. This kid has scored, I think it was 11 goals in 27 appearances so far in the Brazilian season, and which is a big deal because I don't think we scored more than 12 goals as a team all last year. That would be an awesome help to us. Sure, everyone's been saying he's a fox in the box, so very good at just getting those tap-ins and being in the right place at the right time when it comes to being in the box and lining himself up for good chances to attack the goal. We certainly need that and it just gives us more weapons in our toolbox. The other piece of breaking and seemingly major news is that Amaya wants out of FC Cincinnati, which is a bit of a heartbreak. Amaya is certainly a fan favorite. FC Cincinnati fans love a player who seems to be on the field truly making a difference and will put himself on the line to make big plays happen. And over the past year or two, we've certainly watched Amaya do that. He's come into the league very humble, attached to the U.S. men's national team as a youth, and just a very humble guy, but is also just kind of, like I said in one of my previous videos, he's been a bully, even as such a young and somewhat shorter player, and we love to see that. So it sucks to hear that he may want out. Apparently it has been said that he wants out due to losing so much, and just in general, everyone wants to be associated with winning teams. I think that with the Brenner signing and with some of the other rumored signings coming up, it shows that there is still ambition in the ownership group and in the administrative team. So hopefully he sticks around. I think the MLS transfer window is closed anyway, so I don't think that he could go easily at this time. I think the best piece of advice for him at this point, obviously, as a young player, is to give it your all, and hopefully that'll mean that bigger clubs will want to splash some cash on getting you moving. How cool would that be for us to get a player like Amaya moved over to somewhere in Europe? That would be such a big deal for all of us, and especially for him, seeing that he possibly wants to be out. Hopefully the team that we've put together so far is ready to really fight for this club. The next obviously big news is a big number 10 coming into FC Cincinnati. That would be obviously huge for us. So Amaya is kind of plays that 10 role, but he's kind of been jumping back and forth from an attacking midfielder to more of a box-to-box, because he also is very good on defense and turning defensive plays into offensive ones, which is really where he shined due to sheer grit. And I think that we really appreciate his role as far as that goes. But we've had some big name number 10s attached to our team. Obviously, as I spoke of earlier, Martinez, I think that one has been shut down, and that there's pretty much no way that he can be transferred to our team at this point. But just the fact that we're attached to someone of that caliber, even though he didn't do as well as expected with Atlanta, is still a very big name as far as attacking midfielders go. As far as number 10s go, that would be a huge pickup for us. And the one that seems most realistic right now is Lucho Acosta, which again would be amazing and would add some creativity up front. We have some big names to get the ball to up front right now. At this point, we're just really waiting for the team to gel and really put some things together. Obviously, we'll be playing in a 4-3-3 formation, so we will kind of get into what the depth chart is looking like for the team. And I think that I've captured all the correct players. Of course, you guys can comment down below if there's someone that I'm missing. We'll start from the back, move our way up to the front. Of course, we have Teton and Cropper as the number 1 that I think will be in between the sticks and between the poles. I think that either one will probably do us just fine. Teton, I don't think we have too much issues with his play in the back. Seems to do very well. It's just a matter of our back line more than anything. But like I said, Teton, of course, we're very familiar with him. Cropper comes to us this year, a veteran goalkeeper in the MLS as well. I'm assuming that Ben Lunt will once again be loaned out. That's just my assumption unless he gets a green card. And then of course we have Sutherland in the back there as well, who's training overseas right now. So good for him. Our back line, we'll start with the CB. Center backs, the first one that we have is Haglund, a Cincinnati kid. Could be replaced by Peterson. I don't know who would be on the left or the right center back. I think they're probably somewhat interchangeable. And again, our back line does need some help there though. We only have 3 for sure center backs in Haglund, Peterson, and Vanderver. So I think that we need really another 1 or 2 as backups in the back there. I would certainly expect that over the next few weeks or so, we would get a new center back signing. On the right, we have Saad and Zico Bailey. I wouldn't be surprised again if we get a higher caliber right back. I think that we all did enjoy watching Zico get up and down on the right side. So maybe they're taking chances on the young guy. And Saad, of course, is a veteran in the league. Maybe they see something that they like there and are gonna just hold on to him. Of course, on the left side, we just picked up Margarita, which is a big signing for us coming from New York City FC. That's a great pickup for us, especially since we lost our left back options earlier this year. And I think that's it as far as defenders go. So, I mean, it looks like we could really use a backup left back as well as a possibly another right back, and maybe even a center back. We definitely need some help back there. Sometimes these players are interchangeable, so maybe one of the other guys are able to play on as a left back as well. Just in general, looking at the depth chart, a lot of these players can play in between 2 to 3 positions. It's just a matter of where, I suppose we want to play each of these guys. As our defensive midfielder, we're probably going to be looking at Lucho, who I did not like in the beginning of last year, but as he settled in, he really started to show his class. So Mojo, I think, is probably going to be our starter as defensive mid. His backup could be Stanko. Definitely a bit of a bulldog in the back there. He could work out just fine as a backup. Right up in front of Mojo, we have Medunjanin, very likely, or Cruz. Medunjanin, I think he's not a very fast player, does not help on the defense much, but has some of the best passing skills in the league. I think that he could certainly help link up play. I remember last year he would often come back once we were in the offense and kind of play as almost a third center back and kind of spray from the back as passes would come to him in the back there. And he seems to do that role very well. Cruz, another fantastic player. He was out with injury last year. 2 years ago, he was our leading scorer. So, I mean, that would be nice to have him back, and we'll see to what capacity we'll use him in. In front of that, as an attacking mid, Amaya, I don't know if was playing so much as an attacking mid last year. It would be nice to see him play up there. And then, of course, we have Mines behind him. So they might be interchangeable. We'll have to see how the young guys play. Of course, we're waiting on another big number 10. So I didn't include any player that isn't for sure a lock for this coming up year. And then it really starts to get really interesting for the front three players, for the center forward and the left and right wingers. I'll start on the right side. I have Locadia there, but obviously he plays center forward as well. I think that with the signing of Brenner, that might change things. So maybe Brenner plays on one of the wings, maybe Locadia plays up front, but we really don't know. There's some questionability as far as what's going to happen with Locadia as well, although I think he stays up until the summer window unless his team calls him back. Either way, I think that, between Locadia, Brenner, and Kubo up front, that could be very dangerous. Not to mention we have Zhao, who wasn't afraid to go at guys and use his pace getting up and down the right side or the left side. I think he was kind of interchangeable for both sides. We have Barrial as well, who I have on the left side on my chart, but again, I believe could probably jump around a bit as well. Seemed to have very impressive dribbling skills, could really do some damage as well. We have the new fella, Harris, to come into play. I think he does take up an international spot. If I'm not mistaken, he has dual citizenship between England and China, if I'm not mistaken. Again, could make for an interesting attack. I'm gonna butcher this name, Kovacevic, who we received through loan through Hoffenheim. Our new kind of sister club partnership that we have going on. I don't think he played, more than 2 or 3 games, but he did seem to have some class as well. Still has a chance to show what he can do. And then we have Vasquez, who I think netted a couple of goals this past year as well. Still a young guy, hasn't really broken through as a starter yet. Does seem to show a lot of hustles. Up front, we actually do look fairly dangerous. I think our biggest glaring holes are going to be the attacking mid role, unless of course we want to give Amaya the shot or Mines the shot to really shine this next year. But I do think that we have another big attacking midfielder signing coming up. Looks like we do still need a center back, and then we need some help on the right and left back sides as well. I've heard some rumblings about adding more wingers, but when I'm looking at the depth chart, I don't know if that's necessarily what we need right now. I think that we have some dangerous pieces, and if we can really do some damage before the summer transfer window, it'll be very interesting to see what this team can do. So I do like some of the names, obviously, that we have up front. Our attacking side looks pretty dangerous, quite frankly, especially the top 3. Those are all, DPs. Very excited for this coming year. Please, you guys drop some lines in the comment box below. Let me know how you feel about my analysis of things, or if there's any other news that you have to share, please share it. I enjoy talking FC Cincinnati, especially when we're essentially quarantined for more reasons than one right now. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have, you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe with your fellow brothers and sisters in orange and blue. And I look forward to the next time that we get to hang out, you guys. Have a good one. Peace.